you watched the live stream yesterday, that was basically just a test on my equipment, or at least a microphone that my friend let me borrow. That's some good ice cream. No, that was some good ice cream. Anyway, you know that my friend let me borrow his Blue Yeti microphone to test it out, and the audio is sounding real. Oh shit, the camera just moved. Right now, the audio is sounding pretty good. So, I'm actually gonna. There we go. My camera's on the tripod, and it's not on a tripod. It's on my animation stand. But whatever. We'll just go hit on and animate. So let's see here. Keep an eye on the chat too. Hi, Logan Dottie. So the animation's looking pretty good. Switch it to 24. Question: would you prefer a stream with me recording the like my screen so you can see my animation software and not have a shaky cam like this? We got King Ghidorah just took out Godzilla. So let's see, but his appearance here is short-lived because I'm gonna have to move him, which I've actually become a lot more accustomed to. It's not as scary anymore. However, it is still a little bit nerve-wracking. Let's see, move him over here. Move some things out of the way. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Take a look at the chat. You would like that, okay. Well, I will do that. Add what is it? There we go. How is that? I don't have to look at the chat on my phone. Which is not the end of the world. Let's see. Get the audio down. Okay. There we go. I can keep an eye on the chat on my phone and animate, and then you can see what I'm doing. I'm not testing things out. I'm legit animating. The last 2 streams I did, which were only like 8 minutes long each, all of those, actually you can take this out. All of the last 2 live streams I did were just testing my audio equipment, because I have a microphone, actually like 2 microphones, that connect through the headphone jack and not through a USB port, and so they weren't recognized by my software. But the webcam that I was using before I switched to this was connected through a USB port, which makes sense because it's a visual capturing device. So let's see. I'll turn that down. It was a video device, which made sense for why it's a USB, but it also allowed for um, animation, or I don't actually know what I'm saying. I'm focused on something else right now. Oh, okay, I know what I'm trying to say. It's a USB connection because it's a video capturing device, but it also had an audio thing because it's a webcam. But I couldn't find a way to put the what's it called, to make the audio less echoey, and then I found out a way yesterday, and my friend lent me his Blue Yeti too to figure things out, and I figured it out yesterday, and so now I'm streaming because I'm a happy camper. So, how was Halloween? It wasn't too bad. I spent my Halloween working out, not getting candy. Let's see, how's the shot go? Let's see. Grab one of these. So this is the NECA 1995 Godzilla. Or 19... What did I say? 1995? No. It's 1954 Godzilla. So, it's a really great figure. But, yeah. How was your Halloween, Logan? 5 people watching. Wow. It's more people than I normally have. Let's see. There we go. Actually, I'll zoom that out. Plug that in. So. Hey, Cap, how's it going? Gotta stop in quick. Been seeing your IG post, thank you. Yeah, that Ghidorah is really, really, I love it. It's a great figure in my opinion, but it was really difficult to animate because of the stands and the unstableness of it. You know, you move one head, then the entire body shakes for 10 seconds, and you have to wait to move anything. So, yeah. Your Halloween was good? Oh, that's awesome. What Godzilla movies have you seen? Have you watched? I've seen all of them except for Son of Godzilla, which my dad told me that I have seen. We just got rid of it for whatever reason, and I'm going to have to switch to the battery pack. Hang on. Camera lost. Yada, yada, yada. There's the battery pack. There we are. See, I have what's called an AC adapter, which is basically a camera battery that bypasses having to be charged because it's just constantly hooked up to a power supply. So, and so now on lower shots, I have to be careful of the cable because I don't want it to break or snap or, damage the electronics inside. So, let's see. Animate this. Let's see, I need a stable thing. Using a deck of cards. When you animate things on the fly, or you don't have much of a game plan for a couple animations, you learn how to build a couple janky little setups. There you go. That's a cool setup. That's a cool shot. You learn how to build some janky setups just having to do things off the fly. I believe I've only seen Destroy All Monsters, Godzilla vs. Mothra, so that's 92, and Megaguirus. I've seen parts of all, just not the whole thing. Yeah, you mentioned in one of your live streams that you're a King Kong fan and a Godzilla fan, but not like not a overarching kaiju fan. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I remember you saying something along those lines. Yeah, I know, but I'm a kaiju fan through and through. If I do like a top 10 movies of all time, I guarantee you at least 5 of them are going to be kaiju movies. Any new monster arts kaiju you want? As in ones that haven't been released, or ones that have been released that I want to get? In terms of ones that I want released that haven't been, are I'd probably say a Tokyo SOS Godzilla, and then a redo of the Tokyo SOS Mechagodzilla. So it'd be in the same, it basically had the same stuff as the original release, but sort of like that Shinagawa Final Battle version, where it comes with a damaged arms and an effect piece and all that stuff. But I could also take a Final Wars Godzilla, because that's my favorite suit. Also, those buildings on either side look good. Thank you. So, get that. That's accurate. Never seen Gamera films. Heard good things about the 90s ones. The 90s ones are great. The third one especially is easily the best one. Oh, I need to put the onion layer on. The Gamera 3 Revenge of Iris is easily the best movie in that entire series. Seen Godzilla Final Wars, Battle for Earth, Mothra 62. Godzilla vs. Mothra is 1964, but yeah. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, Space Godzilla. Yeah, those are pretty good movies. I'm actually not that big a fan of 1992, so Battle for Earth. I mean, the only reason why I would watch it would be because of Batra. But that's just me. The 90s movies, the Gamera 90s movies are good. Yeah. I love it when movies take their tones seriously, especially when it's a character that came from goofy beginnings. I mean, this is my hypothesis for characters lasting, standing the test of time, is their adaptability to times. Because Batman, when he came out, was super dark and gritty. I mean, he carried a gun, and I'm gonna have to move this chair. He carried a gun in his first appearance. But then, in the 50s, he became more lighthearted with the introduction of Robin and the crossing over of Superman. And then, obviously, the Adam West TV show. Who can forget that? Absolute gem. This shot doesn't look all that great now that I look at it. But, and then he became serious in the 80s with Michael Keaton. And then, progressively got goofier and goofier as we got into the Schumacher films. And it's the same thing with Godzilla, absolutely dark, gritty, serious beginnings. And then progressively got goofier and goofier. And just, and then a dark reboot in the 80s. That was Cold War times. So, tensions between, obviously, Russia and the Soviet Union and the US were high, and that was reflected in 1984. And then, that darkness didn't really... Oh, geez, that's a bad shot. Yeah, I'm going to redo this whole thing. Okay, that was real bad. I'm going to have to get rid of that too. I have to tell you, animating in between two buildings and reaching over everything is actually pretty difficult. What if Gamera killed Iris at the second movie when he defeated him just under... I'm gonna have to reread that. What if Gamera killed Iris at second movie, and when he defeated him, that just under custom it? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that. So. Let's see. I love the way this figure looks. I mean, I would like to have the monster arts, but this is one of the few times where I concede NECA made the better figure, because I have the 2014 monster arts, and I have the 2014 NECA, I have the 94 monster arts, 94 NECA, and then I don't have the Burning Godzilla monster arts. Damn it. But I do... fudge monkeys. But I do have that birth version, which is basically the same figure, just a different mold. And you gotta be bitching me. It's basically just the same mold, but a different color. So I consider it the same movie, or the same figure. I actually forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, but I also have the 62 NECA and the 62 Monster Arts, and don't have the NECA or the Monster Arts 54, but if I did, that'd be great. But the 54 is the only figure that I would concede to NECA over Monster Arts, just because it looks so good. What kaiju roars do you like? I like Gizoro. Oh, kaiju roars. I love the 2000 Godzilla roar. It's my favorite roar in the entire thing. I love the... There we go. I love the... what roars do I like? I like the 90s Ghidorah roar. That's a good one. Which one do I like? I like Gigan's roar. That's a pretty cool one. I love Gamera's roar. And then... I don't know. I think those are a pretty good list. Makes it easier to work with while taking pics. Yeah. One thing I tried in a test was taking a pic of a blank scene with no kaiju, then for the animation removing the foreground. That way I can move the foreground later. Yeah, I explained that terribly, so hopefully it makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Having a clean slate or a clean photo and then just masking in. Yeah, I know what you mean. I just don't have any editing software. Like, the Dragon Frame is literally the only software that I have, and the iMovie that I have is on my school computer that we have to turn in every year. So, I mean, pretty much everything is super bare bones and super unprofessional. Let's see. What got you into Gundam? Jobby the Hong's Gundam videos, as well as Daikaiju Legends Gundam videos, got me into it. And then I just got an easy kit, the high grade RX 782. That was my first model kit that I built, and that was the catalyst of everything. I've only seen one show, which is Gundam Unicorn, which I really liked. Let's see how this looks. But I really liked Gundam Unicorn. I thought the animation was great. I thought the story was great. Menage Lynx, I think that was his name. You know, they were pretty. It was a pretty good character. But I'm one of those people that knows a lot about a bunch of series but hasn't seen any of it. Like, if you show me a character from like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, I could probably tell you what character it is just because Storm Collectibles has released a figure of it. And I was like, yeah, that looks like a cool figure. I could see myself doing an animation with that, but I just never end up getting one. Or like Gundam. I love the looks of the Gundams. Especially my new favorite one, the Destiny Gundam, which I built last week. That is just such a good model kit. It's also really big too, because normally model kits are only like, 5 inches, but this one is like close to 6.5 inches. Do you like Larva Batra or Imago Batra? I love both those designs. That is, I think, probably one of the better kaiju designs. But the thing is that a lot of characters that have bad guys are basically just like the reverse of the bad guy. Like, there's Flash and then Reverse Flash. With Ant-Man, there's Yellow Jacket. Who else? I mean, Superman and Bizarro. You know, they're just a bunch of characters that are so lame. But Batra is an objectively good villain for Mothra, and a really good design as well. Because it's not just... I mean, it is basically just a bad Mothra, but I can give it a pass. But to answer your question, I like the probably the Imago form better. I was actually watching one of the Godzilla movies recently, and it was Megaguirus, where the opening shot, or the first shot that you see of Megaguirus flying, like, you can see how that movie was made, like, big time. It's really... And the thing is, I don't have a Blu-ray, so I don't have, like, that, like, super good resolution. You know, it's just a regular DVD. And, you know, seeing that, it was like, oh man. That was... I mean, you can see the strings holding up the tails, holding up the arms. You can see the strings, like, getting taut and then loosening. Oh man, it was it's an interesting thing watching, like just watching those movies, and then having watched them for years, and then you know seeing how they were made just because you have a keener eye and you see things a lot more clearly. Got 6 people in the chat. Wow. They're in the stream, not in the chat. But now let's see how this turns out. It looks a little bit like he's pivoting and less walking, sort of like he's just like shifting one leg forward while like pivoting on the other leg and then doing the same. I don't know, it looks kind of funky. But it doesn't look bad. Ooh. This thing right here. Let's see. This thing right here. It's blocking the way of the figure, so I think I have an idea of what I can do. Because what I want to have Godzilla do is come around here and then like move this way. So let's see. So what I think I'm gonna do is take this block, take that block, and then let's see here, have it like take it away as he comes in, and then have it explode. I think that's a good idea. I think I'll do that. Can't wait until Godzilla or King Kong vs. Godzilla comes out. I'm hyped for it because I saw King of the Monsters and it was awesome. Yeah. King of the Monsters is definitely, I think it's a great movie. I understand what it is. I think a lot of critics how should I put it? I guess distaste for the movie just came from them not knowing exactly what to expect from a monster movie, because but I mean audiences obviously liked it. I mean it has like an 80-something% on the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, which is pretty good, especially for a monster movie. Cool stream, man. I like the idea of live animating. I might try a similar thing one time. Gotta head out. Okay, hope to see you, Cap. Have a good day. The spider kaiju I saw, King of the Monsters, I thought looked like Kamunga. Yeah. What's it called? Skyla, or something like that. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. My favorite one is Methuselah. I think that's the one in Germany, in Munich, Germany. But not exactly sure, to be honest. One thing I don't get about that movie is why people were so obsessed with Behemoth. I never understood. He's just a sloth mammoth gorilla. That's really it. Let's see, I'm gonna have to. I never understood everyone's obsession over him. It just never that simplicity of a design, I guess. Because I have no problem with like Gigan. Gigan is such an obscure design and such a wacky design, and like Ghidorah as well. But I don't know. One thing I'm not too big a fan of, honestly, are like monster designs that are basically just like giant versions of something. Although, I mean, in a movie universe like this, it makes sense. At least one that's semi based in reality. You know, they like Methuselah, or not Methuselah, Behemoth could have like evolved from, or could have evolved into like the woolly mammoth, which died off, and then like it could have evolved later into the like the elephant or something like that. But something like a giant spider, or like Ebera, like just a giant lobster, doesn't really appeal to me. So something as basic as Behemoth just never really appealed to me. On the map were all the monsters where I saw Gorosaurus name on there, and I saw Baragon. Yeah. In Pacific Rim Uprising, they have a hologram thing on just off to the corner, and you can actually see a Muto head, a Gigan, Baragon, Zigra, Gamera, a lot of other monster names in there. It's actually a really cool Easter egg. So, how am I going to do this? Let's see. I'll just wing it. Damn it. Just scooch this back. But what? Have you seen Joker yet? Because that's a movie I want to talk about. Because that was a good movie. No matter what the critics say. Let's see, I'm going to have to... What am I going to use? I could use this building. Fine. Then I'll have to hide my hand. Damn it. My hand got in there. The kaiju I thought came out of the ground was Anguirus. Well, technically Anguirus isn't in the Monsterverse because they don't have the rights to him. But if you look at the temple scene, that when the nuke goes off, you can actually see the shadow of a skeleton that, isn't technically Anguirus, but looks very much like Anguirus. Yeah. Oops. gotta go. Bye. See you, Logan Dottie. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, damn it! Ah! I haven't been animating Godzilla. How many frames have I done that for? Let's see how it looks. No, it doesn't look too bad, actually. Oh, I'm not in high res. Excuse me. Well, let's see how it turns out. It's actually not too bad. I only did it for 3 frames, it looks like. 1. That's different, that's different, that's different. Oh, good, I only did it for 1 frame. Whew. I thought I did it for multiple. That would have been bad. Real bad. I'll move the figure first. Do a bit of that. That's gone. This is gone. Now let's see how that looks without. Hey, I'm glad I noticed that before I went on any further, because that would have been bad, real bad. So, gonna move that building back. That actually isn't good looking. Move it back just a little bit. Move it forward a little bit. I have to say, it's really nice getting back into animating, because it's been literally weeks since I've animated, and it just feels so good. Especially now that I have a small project to do instead of just mindlessly just doing just animations. Which, there's nothing wrong with doing that. It's just nice to have an actual goal. While I'm, doing something, instead of just, animating Godzilla Earth against 1962 and then Goku and then Ghidorah just randomly. It's nice because I have an idea in my head and I want to get it out. And this is just a great way to do it. Let's see this. Whoops. Don't want to show you too much. Okay, I'm actually really happy with the way that this turned out. This is actually a really similar animation speed, I think, to the original Kong. Let's see. Should I move it to the next shot? Right now I'm actually just winging it, to be honest, with what I want with a couple of the shots. So it's I am winging it a little bit. So hang on. Awesome sauce. So there you go. I think that's a good enough shot. How long have I been going for? Okay, I've been going a little over an hour. A little less than an hour, actually. Okie doke. No turning back. Switching the shot. Now, gotta bring back the golden boy. Damn it. Knocked over the one building. Awesome. But now you can't see much except for Ghidorah's stomach. Let's see. Back up some stuff. I have to say, animating makes everything dirty, because you got buildings everywhere, you got debris everywhere, you got figures everywhere, you got equipment everywhere. Part of that is my fault because I haven't cleaned my room in a while. So let's see. Tripod up. Zoom out. Over there. Move this over here. Pennies are useless. Now the question is, how do I want to set up the shot? Because I always try to have at least two of the supports on, whether it be both of these wing cradles or if it's the crotch cradle. Sometimes it's a mix of the two. Sometimes I have to do mix the two, have the crotch cradle and then the left wing, crotch cradle and the right wing, whatever. Actually like this shot right here, but I'm gonna have to. This guy isn't being used. Move it over there. I don't think we should. Grab some cement. This box falls over too much. Let's see. Hide some of the gaps. Let's see, I can move this guy over. 3 that are watching, thank you very much. Actually, the 2 of you, because one of them is me. A little bit of continuity here. I actually need to get a new one of these, because this is a year old, almost a year old at this point, because I used it for the Gundam animation. Okay, you can see the sky, or the edge of the sky. Let's see. Actually, I think a deck of cards would work better. I gotta lift up the backdrops. The city backdrop. Gotta lift up the city backdrop so I can, make the city look bigger. Like that. And like that. Perfect. And then one more down here. For this, I'm just using a deck of cards to prop up the cutouts. Let's see. All right. Okay. We's good. Please be okay. Please tell me we're good, because I'm going to be really pissed if we aren't. Okay, looks like we're good. Phew. Let's see, checking my audio to make sure that everything's all good. Okay. I'm actually going to check. Let's see. Check that. Okay. Everything looks all good. I don't know what disconnected or why it disconnected. But hopefully we don't have that problem again. Let's see. Dora back. Let's see, could I do it without the wings? That's a question I need to ask. Yeah, I'm actually going to see how it looks without the wing. As for this shot, I just want it to be the heads. Then I'll switch it up. Let's see, I'll remove the other one too, so it's got an even balance. this. Move the mic over. Perfect. Put the stand back. Now for this shot. For this shot, I'm gonna need the chair again. Because it's hurting my back. Actually, delete that quickly. Restabilize the figure. Let's see, make that figure. Where's my flashlight? I'll just use this. One thing I do is put a flashlight on the figure that I want to have in focus, because having that extra light, it like exfoliates. It makes the details more prominent, and then that way I can easily tell if it's in focus or not. Let's see, what step was he taking? Left. So he took a left, right, left. Okay, so we're on this side. Let's do that. Let's see then, is Kevin in frame? Okay, Kevin's barely in frame. Sorry I'm not talking a whole lot, it's just that whenever I'm hyper focused on something like this, I get really quiet because it helps me I don't know, focus. Let's see, I'm actually gonna, this is that helping hand that I mentioned in the last behind the scenes video. So I'm actually gonna have to hold Ghidorah's tails down a little bit. So there we go. And then just place it down like that, because Ghidorah's wobbling a little bit. There we go. Sorry, just eating some ice cream. Did I move Godzilla for that one? I did. I have to say, Ghidorah is a great figure to practice what's it called? Like animating multiple things at one time. Just because of the heads. And then remembering like what movement they each were doing. You know, it's a great practice figure for that. And you can see a bit of glare from that building. Oh well. So, and I did not move Godzilla for this one. Thank you again to the 3 people that are watching the stream. It really means a lot. So I actually want to start streaming on the regular. Whether it be animating, whether it be model kit building, or just like talking in front of the camera. You know, I want to start doing some like regular live interactions with you guys, because I find that, you know, animating is great, and it's really what I want to do with you guys, because you know, animating is what keeps me sane. It's, you know, some people have video games that keep them sane, some people read, some people draw. This is what keeps me sane, and sometimes what makes me go insane. But, you know, this is basically a therapy session for me. And just interacting with you guys live, even if it's for, you know, just a few minutes, or if, you know, people stay throughout the whole stream. You know, I know Cap and Logan, Dottie were here for, you know, 10 or 15 minutes, which is great. And, you know, if I do this on the regular, you know, I can have a regular audience of, you know, 4 or 5 people. Let's see how this whole shot looks. Actually, no, wrong foot. There we go. That's better. I basically didn't move the figure. There we go. That's better. Let's see. Can you even see the individual heads? No, Kevin's taking up all the spotlight. Gonna have to move him or something. So, but like I was saying earlier, though, animating is what I really want to do. I mean, the thing is that this is the most accessible way I can entertain people, and that's really what I want to be. I want to be an entertainer. You know, I want to be someone who's responsible for the entertainment that people watch. You know, whether it be good or bad. You know, that's to, you know, be determined, but I want to be, I want, if it's through movies, great. If it's through YouTube, great. If it's through TV shows, great. If it's, it can be really whatever I want. If it's, even if it's just animating out of my room, if it's through, like something like Rooster Teeth, that'd be great. And I just, like I said, I want to be the person. I want to help people that make the content. I want to be the person responsible or partially responsible for the content that people watch, the entertainment that they watch. Because, like I said, my goal is just to be an entertainer. And if it's through, like I said, damn it, if it's through YouTube, that's great. If it's through TV, that's great. If it's through movies, that's great. But pop this sucker back on. There we go. Don't know what I was doing with that figure. Turn his head. Do that, maybe. No, that's a little too extreme of a motion. There we go. That's a nice shot. Did I move Godzilla for that? That's the question. Boom, 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 boom. How does Ghidorah look? Boom, 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 boom. So, again, sorry for the dead silence. It's just that I'm really concentrating on this. It's actually really difficult live streaming and animating because you have to be, you don't have to be a personality but you have to be talkative, and you have to say something to keep the audience engaged. But if it's just something like me sitting in front of a camera and talking and like bringing up photos of figures, then that's one thing. But where I have a task like this, or like the last like full live stream where I built the Destiny Gundam. Speaking of full live stream, how long have we been going? An hour and 5. Not too bad. Got how many frames done? Let's see. From 302 to 370. So that's damn it, I have to do math. That's 68 frames. That's honestly not a lot for the hour that I've been doing this. But 68 frames, that's a little less than 3 seconds. I got 3 seconds of animation done in 1 hour. I ain't complaining though. Let's see, and then can see the left head or the right head. Excuse me. Ah, man. There we go. Let's see how this shot, let's see how this whole thing turns out. Oh, shit. So we've been going an hour and 10 minutes, we'll just say. So I think I'll go the 2 hour mark. I think that'd be fun. So just so you know, this animation, for anyone watching this, the 3 people that are watching this animation will be coming out tomorrow. I don't know when, but I can guarantee you tomorrow. So yeah, in case you're wondering when this would come out, because this is not a project that I would just do over a weekend and then just throw away, just haphazardly or something like that. This is a very deliberate project, so I wouldn't want to throw this away. Move this guy around. Let's see if I can. Let's see, I'm actually switching a couple things around my setup. So, hang on. This is the keypad that I'm moving right now to right here, so that's actually right by my hand. And that way I can just control the keypad right next to the my camera. And Ghidorah's animation is looking choppy as all get out. But we'll go with it. So again, sorry for the lack of commentary. It's just very, very, you know, focusing work, you know, just focusing on animating and less talking, because if I do that, I either prioritize one over the other. And honestly, if it means that the animation is better and I don't talk, I'm honestly fine with that. So move him. That was too drastic. Okay, over 24 frames for that one. Let's see, actually, I want to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, 26. Yeah, that's enough. One thing I always am really conscious about is whether or not my cuts are long enough, because I feel like, I put in 20 minutes into a shot that only lasts 2 seconds, but I'm like, is that enough time for people to comprehend what's happening? Like, I know what's happening because I'm the one that made it, but is it enough time for people who are watching it, for the audience to understand what's happening? And that's something I take into consideration. I mean, I can tell you this, I'm not a huge fan of shaky cam. I mean, under the correct circumstances, there's a skydiving scene from Star Trek, the 2009 film, and that uses shaky cam. Like, that makes sense because they're falling from the sky, and it makes sense why it would be shaky cam. And then a couple of the Bourne movies have pretty good shaky cam, but when it's just like someone walking and it's a shaky cam, like, come on, like, you can do better than that. So have this. It's a little bit of a cheap cop out to good camera motion. Here we go. It's actually great to only, sometimes animating with one hand is a lot better, but it's slower and less precise generally. So, let's see. It's also generally slower. Do that. I just put in 8 frames, not too bad. Actually, just so I'm only expecting this to be about let's see how long the actual thing is. Let's see, 385 divided by 24. Let's see. Let's see if I can do the math in my head. 24 goes into 38 once. There is 16 left over. No. 14 left over. 14 goes into 148. Not too much. I don't know, I can't do math in my head. Let's see. This goes back to that point I made about, is the shot long enough for people to comprehend? I mean, this shot, that shot is literally just a second long. Like, can you comprehend what's happening in the shot? That's one thing I like I said, I always try and take in consideration. I know what's going on because I'm the one that's writing it. I'm the one that's animating it, so I know what's happening. But is someone going to understand this? At a few frames a second, it doesn't look too bad because you can actually see what's happening because it's at a lower frame rate. But at 24 frames a second, are you able to understand it? That's my thing. Let's see. Then I'm gonna have to cheat. I'm gonna have to cheat a little bit and do it this way. I'm gonna have to extend this because this is a roar, and I'm not exactly keen of taking up. I am taking up 24 frames, but I'm not exactly too keen on waiting. Clicking the button 24 times. Do that. There we go. shame. I was drinking some water, and a little bit of condensation came off and fell on my lap. Oh well. This is another one of those times where I'm gonna cheat, stretch it out. If I can take the short way out, I generally do. There we go. Now, on to this guy. There we go. Now I'm gonna have to bring out the wings. Let's see, here's the left wing. I have to say, taking these on and off is a lot more consistently, has actually made me less frightened of breaking this thing. Because like I mentioned in my review, it's real nerve-wracking to put these on and off, especially for the first time. But now that I've been doing it so much, for animating and whatever I was doing, posing the figure, it's like desensitized me. There we go. Got the wings on. Let's see if I can find a way of hiding those stands. First of all, though, what an absolutely awesome stance! From this shot, you never thought you'd see 54 facing off against the 2019 Ghidorah in all his majesty. This guy versus this guy. You never thought you'd see that, ever. Well, now you have. Let's see. What do I want for this shot? I could maybe do this. Again, this is just me winging it. Let's see here. Let's see. What should I do? I could hide the background, move this lens, and erase the dog. Now you can see the light though. That looks good. And I just need to hide this area back here. I have a couple buildings still back on my shelves. Let's see. That doesn't work though. Let's see. Guess I'll move the thing back. Let's see. Though I like. There we go. That's the shot I want. Let's see, I can maybe prop it up like that. What do I have? Ah. Yeah. Does this work? Let's see. Move it over this way. And take a toilet paper roll and put this up like that. This thing is broken up right here. Need this. Damn it, the tail broke off. That's one thing about this figure I'm not a huge fan of. My right tail just will not stay put for the life of me. So honestly, I think I'll just keep it off for animating the next bits. And the thing is too that I can't really fix it because I don't think the ball joint is going into the socket all the way. So let's see. Okay. Just gonna rest it on Drumpf Tower here. There we go. You can see a little bit of the gooch cradle, but whatever. How long have we been going? Hour and 29. Awesome. Put some debris here. Perfect. This is honestly such a cheap looking set. There we go. Let's see if I can actually. Oops, wrong way. There we go. Do a bit of a. There we go. That looks like a better shot. What should I use for the support? Like this. Gonna need one of the blocks. Let's see, maybe I should put. Again, this is all just me figuring things out. Thanks for the 3 people that are keeping the stream strong. Maybe if I use one of the buildings. Let's see, actually that building could be put on a box. This box right here, this is an oldie but a goodie. It was one of my first things I ever built. What did I use it for? It was in the Godzilla Attacks video, if I remember correctly. This is the G-Force headquarters. So bring the heads down. So but surely bring it up. a couple of the heads are actually a lot looser than the other. Like the left head is probably the tightest. So it's kind of funny. And I actually don't know why I think it's funny. It's actually a little bit aggravating because one head can like look all the way down, and then the other one can barely look up. Or actually, that's not exactly true. They all have actually great posability, to be honest. It's, I think, for the design, the best they could have done. Just because of the type of character that Ghidorah is. Especially with this design, you know, it's not exactly the, you know, your, what's the word? It's not exactly the previous, it's not the Ghidorah of yesteryear, it's, you know, it's the new Ghidorah, you know, huge wings, a tiny body, you know, instead of the restrictions of suits that this figure, you know, that this design doesn't, you know, have, because, you know, there isn't the need to have someone in a suit destroying a city. It's all CGI, so they can make the design, you know, slimmer and sleeker, and they don't have to worry about making it proportional enough to have someone in it. So, I mean, that's why Rodan looks more like a pterodactyl, and Rodan looks a little bit more insect-like, because, did I say Rodan twice? I'm gonna have to listen to that. Okay, I did say Rodan twice. I meant to say Mothra looks more insect-like because they don't have to worry about, you know, whether or not the you know, puppet is gonna break. You know, they can make things look more realistic, which is great. However, that does mean that things get a little bit more interesting when they have to translate it into the toys. Because, I mean, I don't have the Monster Arts Ghidorah 91 or the Mecha King Ghidorah, but because, like I said, that had to be a suit for someone to wear, you know, the balance of it is a lot more centered. You know, this has tiny feet, tiny legs, huge wings, and you know, tiny tails, and it's really top heavy. But the original Ghidorah, I mean, like I said, I don't have it, but it really is, I think, a better balanced figure. Let's see how this shot looks once this is taken. I don't know if you can hear my cat. He's sleeping in the back. It's actually really kind of cute. Well, you can a little bit. One thing with the dragon frame and the exporting, which isn't an issue, it's just that a little bit of it gets cut off, like right around here and then right around here. So when I'm animating, I have to be conscious of that as well. I don't put things up too high. Like right now, I'm actually a little bit worried that that I'm gonna cut off the heads Um, but we'll just have to move forward. One thing you probably don't know about me is that I can actually do the predator clicks. So, I actually don't know how that sounded. Yep. So, I can do the predator clicks to the dismay of everyone around me. Let's see. Ghidorah's middle head went down. Once again, thanks to the 3 people keeping the stream strong and live and well. Actually, I hit my most viewed stream with this one because 6 people were in it at one point. Normally it's only like 5, or not even 5. Generally it's maxed out at it maxes out at 4. Oh, damn it. Oh well. Yeah, so I mean right now, obviously Kevin's head right here is will be cut out, but probably a little bit of the middle head as well. So I'm actually going to cheat again. Do a bit of that. Might actually do a half a second more, so up to 36. Let's see how that looks. 1. Let's see. Unfortunately, Kevin's mouth does not open the widest. That's what she said. The other 2 heads, their mouths open up pretty wide. Actually, I'm going to refocus the camera. Awesome sauce. Oops, the jaw fell off. Whoopsala. That's not going to be too big a deal, honestly. Just gotta slide it back and like that. There we go. And open up the jaw. Perfect. Then the other head. Refocus. So I want to thank you guys, honestly, for getting me to 1,600 subscribers. I'm not going to do a subscriber special. I actually missed out on a lot of subscriber specials, like the 100, 500, and what was it? 1,000. Actually did the 1,000 subscriber live stream. But yeah, I won't do one for 1,600, but I will probably do one for 2,000, because that's that's special. How long have we been going? Hour and 46. Another 15 minutes, and then I think we'll call it a stream. So actually, that's actually perfect timing, because I don't exactly want to give too much of the plot away, because I want it to be a bit of a surprise for tomorrow. If you know anything about tomorrow, you know what you could expect, because tomorrow is a very special day. Let's see how that actually looks. Oh, I thought I bumped the camera. Oh, I did a little bit. Ooh. Or whatever Ghidorah's roar is. It's one of those roars where you can hear it, and then like you know it, or it's like one of those songs or sound effects that you know, and then you can play it in your head and then be like, oh yeah, that's this, or to that effect. Again, gonna cheat. I'm actually gonna stretch it out to just 48 2 seconds. Then bring Ghidorah back up. Gonna have to actually work on the jaw on Kevin, because like I said, the jaw doesn't open as much as Ichi or Ni. So let's see. Let's see. What else I need to do? I'm gonna move Ghidorah actually. Tempting fate. And again, the right tail fell off, so it's on my table. That's why there was no tail there. Perfect. And now it's just easier for me to not have a giant, 2-foot figure like right in front of me while I animate. Or at least another figure that's across the table. Let's see. Bring back this. I dropped the keypad. Right there. Just bit of this, bring it over. Okay, lock that in. Perfect. Bring back here. Again, stretch this out for a few seconds because this is the middle of Ghidorah's roar. And like I said, I'm not exactly too keen on sitting here for 48 frames of just me constantly clicking. That'd be stupid. So, and what this whole thing does is that in iMovie, at least the whatever software I use, I can make this into a freeze frame and hold it for however long I need, and if I need to, I can just cut it down. This, like I said, this is not okay. It is cheating a little bit, but like I said, it'll allow me to make a freeze frame of the shot and extend it for however long I need without having to spend too much time with animating. Despite me saying that this is literally a therapy session for me. And commence roar, which will probably take up the last 8 minutes of the stream. Because I gotta take a break after this. I actually got in touch with Boog Nice from ACBA, which is Articulate Comic Book Art, and he actually sent me the that end logo animation, which like, that's crispy, you know. So I am, you could say I'm a part of the ACBA club now. Now that I have that logo. But there we go. All of this again, technically cheating. However, if I can move the damn thing, like I said, it allows me a freeze frame, to which I can do whatever I need with it. Roar. And yeah, I'll just take a quick look at what I did today. Probably gonna need to repaint this sky backdrop that I have because it's looking a little beat up. Roar. Keep roaring, and then a roar from Godzilla. So, I did, let's see, where's my calculator? No, calculator. So, 647 minus, what did I start at? What was it, 302? Yep, minus 302. I animated 348 frames today, which isn't too bad. That's actually more than I did yesterday. There are a couple, like I said, stretch outs of 24, 24, 36, 48, and 48, and 48 again. However, that will come in handy, like I said. And that is actually a good shot. I'm actually looking at it on my phone because I have the chat up on my phone, and it's delayed a few seconds, and this is actually a really good shot. I really love this shot. If I redid this with some different lighting, some black and white filter, or maybe even like a vintage filter, that could actually look pretty cool. Actually, this is probably my favorite part of this little bit of animation I did, is that little breaking of the rocks. Because, I mean, it looks like it broke. I mean, it's not great, but, 24 frames a second gets the job done. So, yeah, not looking too shabby, if a little bit cheap. Not gonna lie, it does look a tad bit cheap. However, like I said, 'tis what it is. Well, I'm not gonna sit around for 3 minutes because this next bit I want to keep it a secret for tomorrow's video because, yeah. So, it's a bit of a spoiler. So, thank you to, again, Logan Dottie and Captain McKay Random. I know they have left the stream and have been gone for a while now, but they, thanks again to both of them. And then thanks to the 3 people that are watching the stream. You guys keep the stream alive. I actually don't know what I should say for an outro, but I guess until next time, Kaimo Films out.